Guess y'all decided to eat the chicken without me. That's cool. I'm not mad at you because y'all probably would not have much to eat if I had gotten to it first.
That's all.
It's all good. Honestly, man, the first thing I want to let y'all know is I'm from 25th and Diamond. How many people know where that is? All right. At the end of the day, I watched my best friend get popped for a chain that he gave. Like, dude came to stick him up. It's like, yo, give me a chain. My man gave him his chain. Pat, done. 13 years old. And for me, it was kind of a situation where I looked at life like, I don't see how I'm going to get out of it, even though I was blessed. My mother was a teacher. My father was a cop, but my parents divorced when I was 3. So it wasn't like everything was sweet. My mom was a single mom. My brother got caught up in a whole lot of craziness. He sold drugs, did a whole lot of stuff that I know he wasn't exactly proud of at the time. But right now, he's one of the best cops in Philly. I was not supposed to survive where I came from. And when you have all of those things around you, when you have the kind of experiences where everybody tells you that you're nothing because of the color of your skin or the neighborhood you come from or your reading level or your ability or inability to do well in math or whatever the case may be, that is their opinion. Because there are a lot of people who are making great money who should not statistically be making great money. A good buddy of mine by the name of Waka Flocka is not the most educated dude I've ever hung out with. He's not the best reader in the world. But at the end of the day, he owns a business, he has a brand, he has a mission, and he knows what he's doing with it. How many people in here, show of hands, want to be rappers? Thank God. This is going to be a lot easier than what I thought, because you are more likely to get hit by lightning twice than to ever go platinum. You're more likely to get hit by lightning twice than to ever go platinum. And so when you look at that and you say to yourself, why would I want to make 10 cents out of every dollar when the people who own the labels are making 90 cents off of every dollar you generate? I was lucky enough to learn different aspects of the business. I've toured, I've sent backgrounds for people, I've ghostwritten for people, I've done a lot of things that most people from my neighborhood have never had the opportunity to see or experience. For me, it's more about understanding where we are in society, understanding what it's going to take in order to take us to the next level. And that comes from getting past all the nonsense that everybody feeds you. It is real easy for a teacher to sit up here and tell you, oh, you can do it. Oh, your life will be wonderful. You can follow your dreams. They already got their education. They have beaten the odds statistically. They've got a high school diploma. They've got a bachelor's degree. Some of them have master's degrees, and so they are removed from what it means to be in the situation that you're in, facing the things that you face. They don't understand, and I know that's not exactly what they wanted me to come and tell you, but they don't understand. Nope. They don't, really. They cannot, and 9 times out of 10, the majority of the teachers in this building cannot walk the streets we walk. Nope. Nope. So, you have to realize that trying to explain that to them isn't going to work. But at the end of the day, even though they can't walk the streets that you can walk, right now, you're in a position where you need to be able to learn how to walk the streets that they walk. Because the streets that they walk are the streets with the money. Right. Because there is no money. There's no money in the hood. There isn't. And everybody I know who makes bread in the hood is dead or in jail. Period. Or they're maimed up, and they're limping, they're in wheelchairs, whatever the case may be. Now, one thing I'm not going to do is do a whole lot of talking while y'all are talking. So if y'all want to talk, I can go home. Thank you. You have got to stop allowing your skin color, your your parental situation, your reading level, your comprehension level in mathematics to be the hindrance as to why you don't make serious money, why you can't provide for your family, why you can't do better for yourself, why you are not able to understand something. How many people know what an education is? What's education? Is it? Okay, well then what is it?
Knowledge.
Knowledge.
Ain't a lot of things you should know.
It's a lot of things you should know.
It's something somebody can't take from you.
Something somebody can't take from you. Here's what people don't understand. Now, I've got plenty of pieces of parchment that say I'm educated. I went to Temple University, graduated very high in my class. I paid my own way through school. I didn't get a scholarship. I got a 720 on my SATs combined. Now, they give you 400 points for signing your name. So basically, I got like a 3-something on my SATs. I do not do well in standardized tests, but I was reading on the college level by the time I was 10. So the tests don't mean anything. My grandfather dropped out of school in the 5th grade and then went on to run one of the biggest metal companies in the country during his day before he retired. So education is not about a piece of paper on the wall. Although that piece of paper on the wall can get certain doors open for you, what you have in between your ears, what you have in your brain is a lot more important. Because the same books you get in college are the same books you can find in the library. The same books you can find online, and y'all have it a lot easier than what I had, because when I got to college, Al Gore was talking about some information superhighway and everybody thought he was, he was corny, like, all right, whatever, I'm gonna sit on the computer all day and read, whatever. And so we had to go and look at an encyclopedia. We didn't have up to the minute MSNBC and Wikipedia and Media Takeout and Gossip and all of these things at our fingertips. So if you're not getting straight A's in a system that only requires regurgitation, everybody know what regurgitation is, right? No. A cow will sit and eat and chew grass and chew grass and chew grass. And it won't eat it all. It'll save some. And that'll become what's known scientifically as the cud. And they'll throw it back up and they'll chew on it some more and chew on it some more. What teachers give you is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, so on and so forth. And all they want you to do when they put a test in front of you is go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Because that means that you've understood enough to get through whatever the lesson is. And if you think I'm lying to you, look at the fact that there's a game show out right now where people who have graduated from MIT and Harvard and Yale failed, and it's called Are You Smarter Than the 5th Grade? 90% of the things that you learn coming up you will never use in life. But it is about your experiences. It is about the way that you handle yourself. It is about what you choose to retain, and with that knowledge, what you choose to learn on your own. Because I know that there are some people who will go and get in the classroom and do everything that they're supposed to do, and as soon as they go home, they close the book. And then on Xbox 360, my name is Taz Swag on Xbox 360. If you want to get embarrassed, I have no problem in doing that. But when it comes to your education, that is your responsibility. It's not your mama's, it's not your teachers, it's not your daddy's, it's not your cousin. It ain't Nicki Minaj's, it ain't Lil Wayne's, it ain't Shamara's, it ain't Jonesy, it ain't Taz Daddy's, it's nobody but yours. Because we got our money. We're getting our money. I went and studied business courses not because I had to, it's because I wanted to. Because at the, y'all good? I'm good. Because at the end of the day, I don't like working for people. If Clear Channel decides for whatever reason they want to let go of Taz Daddy today, I'm cool. I got a company called Taz Daddy Enterprises. I do quite well for myself. I can go anywhere I want to, wear whatever I want to. I don't have to dress in a 3-piece suit. I can walk and chew gum at the same time. I can do whatever I want to do because I don't have to answer to anybody. Because I don't like to answer to anybody. How many people here like having somebody tell them what to do all the time? Anybody? Might want to learn some business. Because this is a country, as messed up as it is, the majority of people in this room, blacks, I'm going to tell you something that's not very popular. White man ain't holding you back. He ain't. There's no time for excuses. There's no time to sit up here and say, I can't make it. You can, but it's your choice. And some of you will after I walk out, say, yeah, man, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, yeah, I kind of do. Because I'm living proof. I come from a slum. What do you want to tell me that I ain't already seen? I ain't seen somebody die in my arms? I have. I ain't never been shot at? I have. I've been stabbed before. I've been robbed before. I've shot at people before. What? What is so unique about you, whereas though I haven't survived it? Anybody in this room ever been homeless? I have. Anybody in this room ever thought about killing themselves? Guilty. I'm still here. I'm still working. I'm doing everything that I want to do because I got everything I had to do out of the way early. I'm barely in my 30s. Barely. My mom is retiring from the Philadelphia School District. She don't have to worry about me. She don't have to worry about my brother. My brother's one of the best snipers in the city. He's cool. I'm cool. I get paid to go to a club, stand around, have drinks, and take pictures, and go home. While the majority of the people who go to the club pay to get in, pay for drinks, and have to pay the picture man. For those of you who don't know what the picture man is, this guy has a sheet and it's airbrush and it has like a staircase or some champagne or some ridiculous car that most people will never ever afford painted on it, and they pay $5 or $10 to take a picture in front of it just to say that they were there so they can post it up on their Facebook page. That's hustling backwards. But at the end of the day, the picture man's got that money. I don't have to pay for any of that. I get paid to show up just because of who I am. So, what's your excuse? Why is it you can't make it? Is there anybody in this room who feels like they can't make it? Honestly. Because I would like to know why. I'm telling you right now that in this day and age, with the amount of technology we have, with the amount of opportunities we have, there's no excuse. I got a homie who grew up in a slum in Nashville, Tennessee, who made a fortune. And when I say a fortune, I'm talking about $45 million. Because he created a site that basically deals with girls taking pictures with their camera phone. Sold it for $45 million. He's 26. He sold it when he was 23. He don't have to work again. He found something that he was good at. He found a way to turn a profit, and he found somebody who would buy it from him. That's all it takes. Why should anybody have to do something that they don't want to do? The one thing I hate, because I'm a big guy, I like to eat. The one thing I hate is when I go to like a McDonald's or a Wendy's or a Burger King, and the chick that dropped that, welcome to McDonald's, can I take your order? Why do you have such a horrible attitude? You chose to flip these burgers, not me. I chose to eat these burgers, and that's why I'm in the condition I'm in. But that's okay. I'm happy in my condition. Why aren't you happy in yours? Life is too short to be miserable. Life is too short to walk around with a chip on your shoulder. I'm happy. There's some people in this room who are like, yeah, whatever, you corny, whatever. I don't give a daggone. And I use a different word, but the camera's rolling right now. I don't care if you like me. I don't care. You want to know why? Because you know who does like me? ING, Bank of America, TD Bank, Wells Fargo, because I have accounts in 4 banks. I'm good. So, I'll take comfort in the money I have. I'll take comfort in my Victoria's Secret model fiance. I will take comfort in my Jeep. I will take comfort in my house in Beth Salem. I'm okay. You don't have to like me. But how much do you like yourself? Do you like yourself enough to get up off your behind and do something about your life? Do you like yourself enough to say, you know what? Maybe I should try a little harder. Maybe I should realize I have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so I should listen twice as much as I talk. Maybe I like myself enough to make sure I look clean when I get my behind up because I'm a reflection of my parents. Maybe you like yourself enough to not have such a smart mouth when somebody's trying to help you. Especially when those people get paid the same amount of money, whether you're good or you're bad, whether you pass or you fail. You have got to make that decision for yourself. You have got to decide what is important to you. And there are some people, statistically, who will never see the top of the mountain. Who won't? Who will never ever know what it's like to be a millionaire. They will never understand what that is. Statistically, 2% of Americans, roughly 6 million people out of 300, will ever be a millionaire. What does that mean for y'all? If I were you, it would mean absolutely nothing. You want to know why? Because statistics are for statisticians. Statistics are for people who pencil push and write down numbers and get paid a great amount of money to do them. And while they may have a certain level of truth to them, that doesn't necessarily have to apply to you. And I'll give you an example. I had an uncle named Ray, and my Uncle Ray was a Buddhist. I'm not a Buddhist, I'm a Christian. You know, some Buddhists believe in reincarnation. Everybody knows what reincarnation is. You die and come back to something else. And I told him once, I said, if I were to die and come back as anything, I'd come back as a bumblebee. He laughed at me. He's like, what the heck is you coming as a bumblebee? I said, yeah. I said, because a bumblebee is big, it's really fat, it buzzes, and it's not supposed to fly. Statistically, there's no way. Scientifically, there's no way a bumblebee is supposed to fly. Their bodies aren't built for flying. The problem with that is, the bumblebee doesn't give a damn, about the statistics. It flies anyway because it doesn't know that those statistics exist. So, I'm buzzing, and I'm flying. You know where I fly to? I fly to LA for the Grammys. I fly to St. Bart's for vacation. I fly to Vegas when I feel like blowing some money. I fly to New York when I want to check with my stockbroker to see how my money's doing. I like to fly. And if it means I need a seatbelt extension because I like to go, but at the end of the day, I fly first class and the hot towels are nice and so is the free champagne. And I'm from a slum. I don't know if any of this is getting through to you. I don't know if any of it's going to matter to you. But I'm here not because somebody's paying me. And for me to do a speaking engagement, bare minimum, $2,500 for 45 minutes. Bare minimum. I'm coming up here for free on my own gas. I don't want anything from anybody. Because I know what it is like to be in these seats and have corny, dry speakers to, oh, you can do it. Life is wonderful. Man, I'm living proof that you can. And I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you and tell you that it's easy. It is not easy. It is not easy surviving the things that I've had to survive. I survived a fire. I almost drowned. I was homeless. I thought about killing myself because I made a heck of a lot of money at one point and lost it all. Every single dime. I have made horrible mistakes in my life. Never been arrested. But I made some horrible mistakes. It's not easy. No one's going to hand it to you. No one is going to give you a pity party. No one is going to sing you a song. But you have to decide whether you want to be a provider or a customer. Here's the difference. A provider is the person who stands on the stage and sings, goes, excuse my Elizabeth, I just better the family picture. The consumers are the people who are in the audience buying the tickets, watching this man who's not the most aesthetically good-looking dude in the world, not exactly the most well-spoken dude in the world, but they're watching this man perform. at anywhere from $35 to $150 a ticket in 70,000 seat arenas. Or another example is a provider is somebody who stands on stage with a black turtleneck and a pair of jeans, and he says, "Hey, we got a brand new iPad for you." Consumers are the people who stand up late at night, overnight, camp out, just so they can get that new iPad. A provider is somebody who stands on the stage and says, "This Saturday, my new sneakers coming out." Consumers are the ones wearing the Jordans. I'd rather be the provider. Now, there are certain things I have to be a consumer on. I have to buy a car, I gotta have gas, I like my Nikes. But for the most part, I like having the freedom to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it, and provide people with the service that they'll be able to take to the bank. So I write books, and I give lectures, and I give seminars, and I teach people how to maximize their presence with their businesses on social media, meaning Facebook and Twitter and Foursquare and things of that nature. Because new media, which is what it's called, new media and social media are a lane that a lot of people don't know how to operate in effectively. And I remember this, and I'm going to stop here, because I don't know how I am for time. Is this okay?
Yeah, I want you to take some questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to stop after this. When I got interviewed at Power 99, they said to me, "Well, Taz, do you know about SEO, and do you know about this, and are you hashtagging?" And I'm looking at these people like, "Listen, man, I don't know about all that. Here's what I know. Without Power 99 and without WDAS, I have more followers on Twitter than both stations combined. Without knowing what SEO is, which is search engine optimization, which means that when somebody types in what it is you're trying to do or find, your brand comes up first. Without knowing all of that, I was on CNN talking about social media. Without knowing all of that, I have a fan base that you don't have online. And y'all have two of the most recognizable names in the Delaware Valley. I've been off the air for a year. So if we want to do business, we do business. If not, cool." And see, the power in that situation is there is something to be said for the ability to want to walk away from the table. Because you can walk away from the table if you know what you're bringing to the table. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? In other words, I am not going there like I had to when I was a kid and be like, "I really want this opportunity. Please give me this opportunity." I had something to offer, and so it changed the dynamic in the room. And because I had something to offer, it didn't matter whether I knew this term, that term, this term, or that term. What mattered was I could put butts in seats, and because Taz could put butts in seats, Taz got that job. And that is the difference. When you provide something that no one else can provide, doors open up for you that wouldn't normally open up for you. So I hope that you feel sort of energized a little bit better about your situations, and I hope that in the long run you will find a way to find out what it is that you need to do in order to make an impact on the world. Thank you for listening to me.
It's true. He's written books. He's kind of making a brand name from his own name. So if you go onto his site, you can purchase products. He's a motivational speaker. He's kind of gotten his way into everything that matters to him, which is really, really an important thing for all of us to know. I want him to take a couple questions because I know, like even myself,
Right.
you go to the Grammys and you see all the famous singers and rap artists and so forth. So I know that these kids may have a few questions, and if anybody has any, have you ever met Beyonce?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely.
And are they friendly when you get a chance to talk to them?
You know what? The funny thing was Beyonce was very, very nice. Solange, not so much. And I'm like, I don't understand. You would think it would be the other way around because everybody knows who Beyonce is. Like Solange, like, yeah, okay. But it is what it is. Some of the people you would think would be like the most arrogant or some of the nicest, and some of the people you would think would be the nicest are the most arrogant. It's it's just weird like that.
I've heard that before. That's interesting.
Questions? Yes, sir.
Why you want to work with Power 99?
Why did I want to work for Power 99? I was at Power 99 when I was 20 years old, and at that point, you know, I'm really taking it back. There was a morning team called Carter and Sanborn. And Carter and Sanborn had been there since I was 10 years old, and they were on their way out, and Wendy Williams had come in, and I, at the time, was at the station that's now known as The Beat, and so I left there because the opportunities began to kind of dry up, and so me and a guy named D. Lee left and went over to Power 99. But at that point, people were still looking at me like, oh, cute kid, yeah, you know. You can go drive the truck, maybe you can be on the weekend, and I'm not a weekend dude. I'm not your fill-in guy. I'm the main event. And like while people may think that's arrogant, let me tell you something. If you're not your #1 fan, nobody else is going to be either. And some people say, oh, that may be cocky. I don't care if you think it's cocky. I know my worth. At the end of the day, when I face God, I'm going to face God by myself. So in the meantime, in between time, God put me here to do everything I possibly can to uplift my fellow man. And I can't do that during weekends. I can't do that being somebody who's kind of nice. And so I have to be my own advocate. And so at that point, I said to myself, okay, I can stay here and sit back like a girl in the hood waiting on double dutch and hope that somebody puts me in or somebody drops off or somebody dies or whatever the case may be in order to get a full-time slot, or I can bounce and then come back. And that's what I did. So I left Power 99 and I went all through the Carolinas, north and south. I lived in Tennessee. I went down to Atlanta for a minute. I went to Florida. I went to Dallas. I went into syndication. I lost everything and I came back. But when I came back, was a track record of record-setting ratings, a lot of revenue on the books for the companies that I work for, and an ability to entertain people that could no longer be denied. And so I needed to come back because it's home. It was the place that I grew up listening to. And for me, I felt like it was my time. It was my time to come back and do this. I don't need to do it, but I love to do it. And when you find something that you love, it makes your day worthwhile. Sometimes I don't want to sit around in my drawers playing Xbox. I don't. And I don't mean to give y'all a visual that you really don't want to think about, but I don't want to sit in my drawers and play Xbox. And so I decided I want to come to Power 99 and I want to make an impact and I want to take things to another level. And so that's why I came back. Questions? Yes, sir.
What you sell on your website?
What do I sell on my website? I sell dreams and hopes and butterflies. And rain. No, I sell a bunch of different products. My new book is called Common Sense Ain't Common, where I teach people how to get everything they could possibly want to get out of life by harnessing the power of common sense. Because people think it's about fame, people think it's about money, it's about prestige, and part of that stuff helps, but you can be, you know what, I'm just getting a little hot.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. You can be really, really famous and still be stupid. You could be the biggest golf star in the world and be sloppy in your marriage and who you decide to cheat on your wife with and wind up with a club through the back of your SUV and lose all of your endorsements, not be able to concentrate on the ball. Or you could be somebody who decides to date a guy who is working at a cell phone store, but he's married to somebody else, and so you decide to take a bunch of pills. See, common sense does not discriminate based upon what tax bracket you're in, or whether you're a singer, or a golfer, or a rapper, or a janitor. Common sense is one of those things that you absolutely have to have in order to keep everything that you really, really want. And so that's one of the things. I also talk about how to get bigger numbers on Twitter. There's a seminar on networking. There are videos up there. There's all kinds of manuals and things that I do in order to help people help themselves. And so basically that's what the site's about.
It is a good site, and you can, when you get it.
You just have to pursue them and pursue them hard. Yes, sir?
Say you want to kick off your own DJ name. How'd you go about it?
You mean, are you mixing?
Promotion. promotion all around.
Well, and you know, you gotta kind of put yourself in position to be seen. When it comes to doing something, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Here's what I mean. There are people who are absolute hot garbage who have hit records. There are people who are absolutely hot garbage who are famous DJs. But it's about doing something that is different from what everybody else is doing. What Clue did in order to put himself on was, while everybody was still dealing with cassette tapes, Clue was putting his mixtapes out on CDs, which was unheard of because he took a little bit more time and he invested in himself. If you are trying to build a brand, you need to start doing parties where you can be seen. And you need to start rocking those parties better than anybody's ever rocked a party before. People need to go in looking good, and women need to come out with their hair all frizzy and sweat on. I ain't never been to no party like that. And until that happens, it's not gonna happen. Like, you have got to be willing to be the best. Like, it costs, for me, like my pictures cost $500 because I gotta make sure that they're not gonna be able to hide all of this fat, but I want them to make sure it looks good. And I make sure that when I go and do things like the Grammy Red Carpet or the BET Awards or those types of things, that I call my stylist and say, listen, man, I need a showstopper shirt, because I don't believe in suits and ties. I don't like collars, I don't like all of that, and I don't have to. I don't think your clothes make you. Like, I don't believe in the standards that the rest of the world buys into. That's not my thing. But what I do believe in is making sure that I look good. So when I hit that red carpet, you know, I'm walking out there like I'm Ric Flair. I'm all, woo! You know, and I got all kinds of crazy stuff and designs on my shirts and whatnot. But I pay a stylist to do that. I invest in myself. And you know the beauty about everything that I do? Because I'm an entertainer, even if I pay for clothes, I don't pay for clothes. Because I get what's called a tax deduction. Because I'm an entertainer. So there's 2 closets in my house. One is the Taz Daddy closet. And then there's the David Anderson closet. And the David Anderson closet has a couple of sweats in there, and socks, and a couple of pairs of Bobos, corny shoes, just so that I can justify having this vast entertainment wardrobe. I don't have to pay for clothes, because even when I pay for them, I get that money back from the government. It's just my contribution. So you have to be willing to invest in yourself.
And that's a good note. I'm sorry, but we have to cut it short. I could listen to you for another hour or so, but I really appreciate you coming through. I really do. I really do. And I know the boys do too. So let's stay